global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings today. A lot is happening in Nigeria, and I think topmost right now is the issue of food insecurity in the country. And we already started seeing people hoist flag of hunger is killing people, and it's becoming a repeated thing right now in the Senate. Something very interesting took place yesterday when Ali Ndume took the floor and talked about the issue of food insecurity, and he opened up that the federal government owned food reserve across Nigeria are empty.
Now, to make matters interesting, even the chief whip of the Senate went further to tell Nigerians that Tinubu has shut his doors. Even some ministers can't see him.
It's getting very serious, but let's give you full details of what transpired yesterday in the Senate. Now, according to the news, the Senate has revealed that the various federal government-owned food reserve across the country was empty. This was brought to light when the Senate considered a motion tagged urgent need to address food insecurity and market exploitation of consumable in Nigeria, co-sponsored by Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume from Borno State. The upper chamber warned of imminent nationwide protest by Nigerians unless the federal government immediately moves to address this acute food insecurity in the country, warning that Nigerians could no longer bear the acute hunger. Ndume, in his argument, said, "In the north, we have started seeing hunger. People can't go to the farm. Even in the southeast and southwest, there are farmers and headers crisis. Prices of basic food items are high. We need to do something or say something as representative of the people. This is the first time Nigeria is being included among nations that will face food crisis."
Now, to further buttress his point, Ali Ndume said that the federal government's inability to address these issues is a major challenge, adding that some ministers are unable to meet with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to discuss this matter. He said, and I quote him, "The major problem with this government is that its doors are closed to the extent that even some ministers cannot see the president, not to mention members of the National Assembly, who do not have the opportunity to meet with him and discuss issues affecting their constituencies."
Idris Wadada from Nasarawa State said the issue at hand was a serious matter. According to him, he says Nigerians are very patient and no people can be that much patient under hunger. As much as we are aware of the factors responsible, we should also make recommendation to the government of the day. As representative of the people, we are responsible and responsive. We are all leaders and critical stakeholder in the country. Whatever we need to do, we must know at all time that we need to add value to the effort put in place to eliminate, if not reduce, the factor responsible for low level of food production in the country. Immediate past president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, in his argument said the patience and tolerance of Nigerians are lasting but not eternal. In his word, he says, "Our people are facing real hunger. I saw people, common people, suffering, struggling for food and eating once in a day. Under normal circumstances, in the rainy season, prices escalate. Now we don't even have. Now the government of the day is saying it wants to remove taxes on food items. This Senate must engage the government. What are the issues? We don't have food reserve."
This is getting really interesting.
He said the silos are empty. To import, we need forex. We have to engage the administration of Mr. President. We are the most vulnerable, including members of the House of Representatives. If we don't take actions, our citizens under increased fuel prices, electricity, including food, we won't like the kind of things we will see in our street. We must take the high action or the right action to ensure that there is food. We can't take the people for granted for too long. He further added, he said, "We must find every means to get to the farm. Nigerians must eat. The primary function of government is the welfare and security of its citizens." Adamu Aliro from KB State also raised alarm that fertilizer earmarked for lawmakers for ongoing delivery to their constituencies were being given to state governors. He said there is need for you, Akpabio, to intervene so that the senatorial district gets it. It will be useless after a month. This is
Very
serious,
interesting.
I must say. And, a lot of these things have been repeated, especially in the social media. I've always been wondering why the president doesn't have a phone to himself, at least to check how things are going on in Nigeria via the social media, because whatever communications you are getting from your media aids and all of that is not a true picture of what is going on in Nigeria. Nigerians are suffering. If you go to the market and you see how Nigerians are suffering, you go to other places, you even walk on the street, see the level of begging. It has escalated. You see people coming on social media dragging the government left, right, center. Why? Because things have change. This is not the kind of government Nigeria prayed for. But unfortunately, we are finding ourselves there. And just like Ndume has rightly stated, Nigerian passion is elastic. It is not eternal. It's just for a while. A time will come that you may see protests on the street and nobody will be able to restrain them.
I think it's a case of Kenyan. What happened to Kenyan legislature that actually opened their eyes. Before now, they were always like Akpabio will always say in a sarcastic manner. He would tell you, "Let the poor breathe." Tell you the truth. What happened in Kenya gave them it was an eye opener. Kenya is not as populated as Nigeria, and Nigerians have been. Give it to Nigerians. We are one of the most understanding citizens in the world. All we just want is basic amenities, and we are good to go. Even the basic is no longer basic; it's now luxury.
Of course.
And see what has happened in Kenya. They realize that it's possible. It can happen in Nigeria, but then you're pushing the people to the wall. They keep shouting, "Being power! Oh, there's hunger in the land." They've been hoisting of flags of hunger in the land, and they say they don't want to see that kind of hunger in the land. You cannot stop a hungry man. Look, go to most countries, standard claims in the world. They will tell you their foodstuffs are subsidized. It's for a reason. Other things can be normal, but food very subsidized to avoid malnutrition, hunger, and the rest. Now look at even price control board is helpless. While the presidency and the government of this day are thinking of repaying and getting money to repay their loans they borrowed from God knows how many countries and World Bank and the rest, they're not really thinking. If you keep taxing the people, do you have what it takes for them to feed? They're not even thinking about their feeding. All of that is going to culminate to something if it's not done and done very fast. And a hungry man, they say, is an angry man. I just hope that Ali Ndume saying that the president is even closing his doors against some ministers. How much more them than senators? Nigerians will not hear that when the hunger gets to the extreme. I pray they intervene very fast.
Now, even yesterday, we heard what Shehu Sani said on his social media page. He said that as he was passing, let me quote him word for word. He said, "I just passed a group of protesters in Wose 2 carrying placards against hunger in the land. Some ladies among them recognized me and shouted, 'No be that Afro senator be that?' I answered, 'Yes, now me, the former senator.'"
You have to say former.
The former senator. I'm not the former senator. I'm a
former. I'm not going to
exactly.
Don't call my name.
Then they responded, "Oh yeah, pass. Make Akpabio no pass there." That was what they said.
God.
It's quite a serious situation.
I've been former. Not
You understand?
former, but former. I'm not among them. This is getting serious.
And also, there is this rumor. Most of the state governors are saying they can't implement even the 60,000 naira increment, minimum wage.
And even TUC is insisting on 250,000 minimum wage.
And some of them are proposing, according to some top guys who have revealed the inside story, say some of them are even proposing to sack 600k workers in order to implement 600,000 workers in order to implement the new minimum wage. And you know what that will do?
It will do already hungry Nigerians.
It will increase insecurity, crime rate will increase. Possibly, who knows? If killing oneself will not be, but divorces also rate will be on the increase. The future of Nigeria is bleak, except the state government. The state government, federal government, everyone's hand is on deck to solve number one problem, which is insecurity.
They need to raise their thinking cap.
Arable lands are there. for Nigerians to plan. But insecurity, imagine in the north, so many communities have been taken over by these hoodlums. And it seems as if these guys do not really understand that is where food comes from. I think it is high time Nigeria wakes up and do the needful so that all these issues will be a thing of the past. I hope that this protest will not happen. That's what we'd like to leave it. Let's speed it up.
Global happenings today. We communicate.